Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. It is your Weapons of What Ifs. It is currently 4:02 a.m. that I am recording this. I hope you will enjoy it. I also wanted to tell you that I have officially almost finished this series in advance. I'm on the 12th part, that's how long this is going to be, and I've basically finished up everything. I just have to, have some loose ends, and then I'm done. So don't worry, y'all will be getting everything. For people who are asking, like, please finish this, I will finish it. I will keep my word, so don't worry. I might have to go overtime with the recording, so not just recording once per day, because I might get lazy and just not recording others. But tell me what you like so far about the series. Please like and comment a lot. That helps with the algorithm a lot more than you think it does. Those who haven't subscribed, please subscribe right now. I will give you a bit of time. Okay, if you have or you haven't, oh, you know how I feel about you. We've talked about this. You gotta support, man. Alright, without any further ado, let's begin with the recap. Alright. We began with the Strats saying goodbye to Vivi after staying at the Alabastan castle for days. Robin, however, hoped for a ride and actually snuck onto the ship and soon joined the crew. They would then come across a falling ship and they do avoid it, but upon pillaging it, they find a map for Sky Island and also meet Cricket and his brothers, Mont Blanc Cricket, and altercations occur until they go to Jaya. The brothers help them out. There, Zoro and Luffy clash with, no. Yeah. I thought I was saying Skype. So there, Zoro and Luffy do clash with Bellamy, but the rookie is left completely terrified by the power of Luffy, who even after hitting him would actually heal him. But they soon are helped by Cricket to go to Skypiea for real. There they meet Coney and Pagaya, but are made criminals considering the way they came in. Enderu sends down Judgment to hit Coney for trying to save the Straw Hats, but it is returned with Luffy then returning it literally back, and also making a curtain to protect the people. In the following days, a battle ensues between the Straw Hats, Shandorians, and Enderu's army, which comes to a climax when Luffy sees Chopper almost be killed by a priest, and he rages. Enderu appears and is chased back to his shrine by Luffy, who can actually hurt him. As Luffy knocks Enderu through the cloud, Coney would then head back to her home with her father at this point. And meanwhile, Enderu is now lying on his ark, spewing blood before Luffy and Rika, who stand before him, and he staggers up as he would back away, keeping his spear pointing forward. What the hell is with you? How can you use mantra? Getting in a fighting stance, Luffy says he doesn't know what he's talking about, and in that moment, Enderu would then release 100 million volts in the form of a dragon that slithers towards Luffy, and Luffy would then run forward, with Rika then clawing at the dragon to nothing, until Luffy would then thrust, but Enderu would then dodge with mantra, only to have his left shoulder hit by a delayed cut. He would then grab onto Luffy and release a maximum of 200 million volts, but Luffy would stand tall as he begins to spew blood, right as Rika would then punch Enderu away through his gold-plated ship rail, and he passes through it and starts flying, but it's partly damaged. What the hell? He isn't going down. Why isn't he going down? Wait a minute. He notices burns on Luffy's body heal with him putting away his blade and catching his breath. He's healing himself while he's being hurt. He's unbelievable. Holding his finger out, Luffy would then gather a massive build of cursed energy, with Enderu becoming wide-eyed, as a massive blast then rips through his gold chip and hits him. He is blown through the cave walls, and the beam would then turn and take him to the sky, twisting, with everyone from below seeing this rising and rising. And this includes the Skypieans, who have now agreed to flee since the curtain can't help them anymore. You think this is enough? You think I'm done? You're exhausting yourself, but I can go on and on, said Enderu. That creature won't be able to help you for long. With these words, he manages to escape the beam and looks forward to see Luffy, who has already flied in front of him, and he says, I met someone like you before. He thought people who weren't like us, people with power, shouldn't be allowed to live. He called them monkeys. Someone who finally sees my point, says Enderu. Yeah, and he's dead. I'm not him. Yeah, after I kill you, you won't come back like he did. This is when Luffy notices his arc is actually rising from behind, and Enderu would then say that he planned this in advance, but Luffy would then smile, saying, did you plan for them? Pointing to the ship, he has Enderu look with his mantra to see Sanji, Nami, and Usopp right atop it, and the arc as it rises would then soon stop. Drop dead, you bastard, Sanji said. This is what you get for attacking me. Enderu is then left angered, but he will pay back this in tenfold as he raises his arms to the sky, and lightning strikes down from the clouds above and drop, reaching the escaping Skypieans, and chaos has begun to just spread. And yet Luffy doesn't attack. What's wrong? You realize how much of a shitty situation you put yourself in? Rika, give me lightning. Okay. Enveloping Luffy in her arms, the cursed queen would then release him, with the confused Enderu then only getting more confused when he sees the boy's eyes spark with lightning, and his own lightning would then freeze midair. What are you doing? I'm doing what you're doing, just in the complete opposite way. With these words, Luffy would then put out the lightning as the clouds then slowly returned to their normal color, and Endeavor was then completely baffled, but had no time for that, as Luffy would then appear behind him in a flash with this blade out, and he is then cleaved right in half. From the moment you made these people miserable, you were bound to be cursed. With another swing at Eneru, he imbues Armament Haki into his Noroi and turns Eneru's body to nothing, as Rika yells that was fun, and turning to her, he says, yeah, I guess copying Devil Fruits is the same as copying any curse, huh? What did you do? Usopp yells. I'll tell you later. Waving to them and realizing that everything was over, Luffy could finally relax and he would have the biggest smile on his face. And the arc comes to an end. Luffy's silhouette is then seen down below by Mont Blanc Cricket and his brothers. That kid really freaking did it. He really did it. It actually exists. This is amazing. A bell would then begin to go off, as this is when we see Luffy finding the bell, the miraculous bell, and ringing and bringing Shandorians and Cricket to tears, as he was so happy that they prevailed. Yeah, fools like that, they just can't go down easily, he said. The Sky Island! It exists! Screaming with his voice enhanced by cursed energy, Luffy's voice echoes to unimaginable degrees, with the strides cheering along and down at Jaya. All those present heard it. The silhouette of Luffy with Rika was it was just obvious who they were, and it was shown to everyone, though he didn't have his hat currently, though. Chopper would soon wake up and give back the hat to Luffy, and Luffy would take time to relax, but he had to heal the hurt warriors. His cursed energy wasn't bottomed out or anything, but it was just mentally exhausted, with him laying down as Skypians offered to treat those that Luffy couldn't. Afterwards, a bonfire was then lit for a party. Come on, join in again, Fall said. Nah, I'm just glad to see them enjoying themselves. Dancing and jumping about around the bonfire, whether it was Shandorian, Skypian, or even the giant snake they all, fought against, they all partied. Thank you, Luffy, Ganfall thought, or as you would refer to him, Kami. Same thing. The night then passes and Luffy slept through it all until he is woken by Chopper, and as he sits up, he asks what's going on. Oh, we were gonna leave. Oh, okay. He stands and walks to their ship with some people bowing and thanking him, and he does the same to literally every person, leaving the crew laughing. You're like a host except you slept through the whole night, Sanji said. Grabbing Chopper, he lands on the ship saying it's just a habit that he can't exactly get rid of. Oh, Robin, did you find something interesting? Yes, quite a lot actually. Speaking of, you never... Oh yeah, we never told you, Nami said. She then tells him about Jaya and its connection here, to their blue sea. And they take a path on the clouds to Cloud's End, as they are directed by Paglia and Koni, who run beside their ship, and they want to say their final goodbyes, of course. But Koni would then say, oh, be careful on the drop. As she says this, everyone is confused when they all slide off into the air, and their eyes pop out of their sockets, even that of Mary in a comical sense, of course. But they all fall down when they are then caught by something. An octopus balloon. Cool! Usopp, however, says, that's so terrifying. What the hell are you talking about, Luffy? They all agree on that, but Luffy has already moved on. He's a very quick guy. But they glide down and they have the bell rung for them as a sign to show like, hey, you, thank you. And the Skypians just all say goodbye. They're then dropped to the sea and the octopus would jump to it, going away. And Luffy says, that was amazing. Yeah, but since when could you control lightning though, Sanji asks. You did that, Zoro asks. Well, I can copy any curse. The techniques I've been using are my own, but they're derived from other people that I've seen do stuff. But now, holding his hand out, he then turns to lightning, quite literally, and everyone is wowed. And Luffy would say he's also free game for the sea when he uses his power, but he can fly with his lightning powers or with his space warping one anyway. I guess Devil Fruit... Actually, no, Devil Fruits in their real form are a curse on anyone who eats it, Robin says. Curse from the sea. Wait, does that mean... Luffy would then nod, saying he can copy Robin too. But I'm not going to. That's your curse to bear. We all have one. If that's how you feel, Captain. So after this, they all plan to go look for a shipwright, as Mary has its fair share of damage by this point, and Usopp has been barely keeping it together, including the mysterious man he saw at Skypiea, trying to fix it. That includes, himself doing so. He can't find anything that's gonna help it actually stay together, and it's kind of falling apart. That was a really stupid sentence, but I somehow got it together. So, they also get to sort the gold they have, gotten from the Skypians and plan to exchange them for real berries at the next island. But they end up on Long Island and meet the Nomad, Tonjit, and Usopp, Chopper, and Luffy are the only ones that go to him. But because he spent 10 years atop his stilts because he loved them so much he got stuck on there, he's gotten food poisoning from eating old cheese that he had kept with him all that time. But after he's taken care of by Chopper, he gets to ride his horse Sherry that has been waiting for him this entire time. Because again, this nigga was really up on his stilts. for 10 years. One Piece is crazy. However, as she gallops about and they're both enjoying themselves, Luffy would then appear beside them in the blink of an eye as he catches a bullet that was shot, and the surprised Sherry stops, with Tonji then seeing Luffy drop the bullet. "Who's the asshole who just did that?" Usopp yells. The pirate Foxy would then make his entrance with an ape by the name of Hamburg and a woman with the name of Porch. "Ah, you caught it. What food did you eat?" Foxy asked. Luffy, however, does not speak as he only walks forward in silence, and his malice would rise and rise. "I'm a man who gets what he wants, Strawhead. If it's your death, I can also obtain it. So let's talk a bit. I want to propose a game." Already, however, he unsheathed his blade, and the panicked Foxy would then send out a slow beam with his devil fruit, which hits Luffy, only for a shockwave to be released as he breaks the effect of the beam. Before he knew it, Foxy was punched across the face, getting cratered 5 feet deep into the ground. Orika would then grab his 2 henchmen and kill them with one tight grip. "Don't ever come out to sea again. Got it?" A terrified Foxy would then nod as he ran away. "My devil fruit didn't work? How?" As he reaches shore and his crewmates see him arriving, they wait for good news, but they're crying Captain run past the straws that are at the shore, and he yells, "Run, you idiots, the captain's a monster." Ow, freaking jaw. Seeing how badly his face is messed up and hearing how messed up his jaw is, like it's literally cracking, they de-anchor their ship and throw a rope to Foxy, who grabs it as they back away, while Luffy will then march over past Zoro, Nami, and Robin, and they saw that he was clearly mad. "What happened?" Nami asked. "He shot an animal for fun and then just laughed about it. For no reason." Taking out his blade, Luffy infuses it with 100 volts of lightning before thrusting, and he hits the ship as he blows it apart and renders everyone fried from the voltage, and he then puts the sword away. "Yeah, I went a bit far. You think?" the three thought. After this, they all go to Tonji's place, and Luffy puts a curtain over Mary as he's worried for his infrastructure. And they then talk with the old man, have fun, and they tell him about their adventures. Sky Island, Tonji says, with both he and Shuri showing pitiful smiles for what they think is a fake story from these sad kids that they made up, and their crew would feel really annoyed, but Luffy would just burst into laughter. "What are we talking about?" With a turn, all the pirates would then turn to see Aokiji, and Robin's face fills with horror. "No, seriously, don't kick me out." As they'll get ready for a fight, they stand, and Sanji would then ask why Robin seems so worried. "You go way back, isn't that right?" asked Aokiji. He's Admiral Kuzan Aokiji of Navy Headquarters," she said. As they ask how high rank that is, Luffy says that only 3 people hold the rank of Admiral. "They're monsters. Only Sengoku's above them. There's Akainu, Kizaru, and him, Aokiji." "Why is someone that important here?" yells Chopper. However, looking to Nami, Aokiji would then say, "Oh, you want to go out?" "What the hell do you think you are?" yells Sanji. "Take this seriously," the sniper would say, with him then saying, "Calm down. I'm here to help out the old man. I overheard your conversation a bit." They're left confused by this, but Luffy would say, "Alright, let's help." "Seriously?" Zoro says. "Well, I don't sense any ill intent from him. He'll be fine. Yeah, my motto is lazy justice, actually. Actually, we figured as much, everyone thought." So they move Tonji's stuff to the shore, and as Aokiji is about to say something, a Sea King then rears its ugly head and lunges at them, but the Strats are calm while Tonji is freaking out, as well as Shuri. Luffy is about to attack, but with his Ice Age, Aokiji freezes the beast and the surrounding sea for miles on end, leaving everyone shocked. "This will hold for about a week, so take a leisure walk and go to your home, alright?" Aokiji said. Tonji, much like everyone else, is baffled at this, but this is awesome. And as Aokiji walks off, Tonji would then thank him with all his heart before then packing some winter wear and getting on a sled as he and Shuri then walk off, and they as they step on the ice, Stripes would then step on it as well to say goodbye, and Tonji would say, "Let's meet again someday, maybe." So after their goodbyes, the crew would then walk back the opposite way, still kind of baffled at what they're seeing, when they then see Aokiji just sitting and waiting for them atop a little hill. "You know, you're nothing like your Gramps, Luffy." "Oh, is he causing a lot of trouble for you guys? I really hope it isn't too hard on you." As he sheds a tear, Aokiji would then say he's an angel, with everyone wondering what the hell is going on. "He knows your grandpa?" Robin asks. "Yeah, he's the marine hero, Monkey D. Garp." "What?" Robin, most of all, is taken off guard by this as they all shake him, asking why the hell he hasn't said anything, and Luffy apologizes just as Aokiji would speak. "But even as not like him as you are, I've decided that you're way too dangerous. You've learned a bit from your grandpa, but most of all, this band of yours seems dangerous as well. Most of all, Nico Robin." Luffy gets much more serious, walking forward and saying, "You're not hurting my crew." "May I remind you that bounty doesn't just reflect your strength," Aokiji said. "It's about influence. Someone can be weak and still be an obstacle, but Robin knows way too much, and because of that, she's had to do despicable things to survive." "If you don't care about her past," said Nami, "stop talking. Now you don't mind if I continue. Soon you're gonna realize how much trouble she is anyway." "Yep, And she'll still be our friend, Luffy said with a smile. This left Robin at a loss for words, not knowing what to do or say, but in that moment, Aokiji would then swing, building up a trail of ice towards Luffy, when the pirate then stomps, and the ice would then shatter from Haki being spread through it, leaving Aokiji a bit surprised, right as he's then kicked in the chest and sent flying to the sky, and he pukes massive amounts of blood. He hurt an admiral, Robin thought. As he lands, Aokiji would then clean his blood, saying, "Okay, now I really need to kill you." "Get to the ship now," Luffy said as he lunged forward, as did Aokiji, and he clashes with the Admiral's giant ice saber, releasing a spark of lightning from their clash of Haki. "This is the bare minimum if you want to keep her and your crew. Beat me, Straw Hat." "Okay." His blade then explodes with its own lightning, blowing back Aokiji, who spins and releases massive spears of ice, of course, to Luffy, but with the thrust, Luffy releases a massive blast of lightning, now made of cursed energy and containing Haki. Aokiji couldn't react fast enough and was enveloped by the attack as he thuds to the floor, steaming and hurting all over. He was literally fried. And Luffy approaches him as he now has an overwhelming gaze overlooking the Admiral, who was just completely surprised by this. And he says, "You just beat an Admiral, kid." However, kneeling to him, he envelops the man with reverse cursed energy as he lets out a sigh. "Man, I'm glad you're not a bad guy." Aokiji at this point is just baffled by this guy, and he feels his injuries all heal as he sits up, and Luffy would then give him a hand as he told him that he felt no malice from him the entire time. "I guess Grandpa never told you. I can rip people really, really well." "You're seriously in that guy's family?" As he walks off, he simply waves, saying he's willing to take Robin into his crew, even if it means more admirals like him come, because she is his friend. "I'm letting a great enemy to the Marines just walk off," Aokiji thought. "I must be going insane." As Luffy makes it back to the ship, at first, everyone overreacts, most especially Robin, but he said that he won and he won't come after them anymore. "You beat an admiral?" Now your bounty's really gonna be huge," Sanji said. "Oh yeah, he never said that he wouldn't report me." "Oh well. You're way too lax about all of this, but as long as we get to keep Robin safe, right?" Nami said. They all nod, but Zoro still has some clear distrust, as, it should be. She's still new. But this is when he actually asks, "Wait, did you copy his ice powers?" "Of course not, it's not my style." "Huh?" "I don't need too much," Luffy said. "I'll start to lose track, alright? Come on, let's go." So they go about their way and head to Water 7, led by Nami, who's extremely enthusiastic because they get to get some real berries from their treasure. And they see Yokozuna, the frog who tries to stop the puffing Tom and gets whacked aside. Luffy catches and brings him ashore to the sea train station, just in the middle of nowhere, only for him to jump back to re-challenge the train back into the sea. Luffy, meanwhile, would meet Kokoro, her granddaughter, Kimini, and her cat Gombe, and the old woman says not to worry about him and directs them to Water 7. They arrive in the same fashion. They've gotten a recommendation letter from the old lady and check out the area while Zoro stays on the ship alone, just chilling, sleeping. After exchanging their money, Luffy, Usopp, and Nami head to the first dock, and Usopp asks, "Are we supposed to ask for an appointment or something?" As he shrugs his shoulders, Luffy then goes and yells for some help over to the shipwrights working, and Kaku then makes his way forward over the little fence just blocking, the people from coming over. And he would say customers aren't allowed on the other side, but yeah, what do you need help with? Handing over a letter they got from Kokoro, he says that they came to meet Iceberg. "Oh, recommendation letter from her, huh? So you know Mr. Iceberg?" Nami asks. "Of course I do. He's the mayor of Water 7. He's the president of Galileo Company. He's our boss." "Oh, so he's a busy man. Sorry," Luffy said. "Yeah, but if you want me to take a look at your ship, I can. Point to where it is for me." As they point the direction, Kaku would then hand the envelope back to Luffy and run off as he leaps to the highest levels and almost seems to be flying as he lightly moves about. From behind, we then hear a voice and turn to see Iceberg, who introduces himself as he has Khalifa with him. "Oh, sorry to be bothering you, sir," Luffy said, as he then bowed, and Iceberg would look at him cautiously as he asked Khalifa for the information, and she says all the members' names and their combined bounty like it was nothing. "Seriously? You're a pirate?" Iceberg asked. Luffy hangs his head in sadness, with Nami and Usopp having to cheer him up as he apologized, and Iceberg had to apologize, and he also introduced a rat that he had taken in not long ago, hiding in his pocket, ironically named Tyrannosaurus, which is extremely cute as hell. That thing is cute. "Actually, get him a cage and some food right now," said Iceberg. "It's done, sir," said Khalifa. "Also, I need to remind you that you have a meeting with the owner of the glass party at Chiza Hotel, and then you have a speech to give at Rigaria Plaza. Then you need to meet Mayor Bimini or of Pucci. Oh, and you have some paperwork. That sounds tiring." "Cancel all of it. It will be done, sir." "You are a terrible mayor," the three yell. "Take that back in this instant," Khalifa said as she then leaped forward with a flurry of kicks, but they're all countered by Luffy, easily leaving her surprised as she then comes to her senses. "Sorry, it's just that Mr. Iceberg is our hero. Please be more respectful." He's not exactly being respectful to your mental health, though, Luffy thought. Iceberg will then apologize to the pirates. You said you asked me from me, right? Oh yeah, this recommendation from Liddy Kokoro, Luffy said, as he then gave him the envelope, but as the man looks at it, he legit just rips it apart easily. And they would say, what are you doing? I'm the mayor, I can do that. I don't think that correlates at all, Nami said. Don't worry, I'll still fix your ship. I just need to hear about the condition of it when Kaku comes back. In the meantime, he did want to show them around. However, as they walk off, Usopp realizes that he's not holding a suitcase full of money. He left it, he dropped it and forgot to pick it up. And he barely turns back to see it be snatched by some Frankie family members. No, not the money! How could I be so dumb, thought Usopp. Sleep. The voice of Luffy violently echoes, rendering the family members asleep, while Luffy would then go and get the suitcase before then flying back. And as he lands, Iceberg is left amazed. You can fly, huh? I heard you didn't eat a dove fruit. Not one. Nope. Don't need to, sir. Come on, Usopp here. He has the money back to his sharpshooter as he says to hold on to it tight. Yeah, thanks. Sorry. They would then get back to sightseeing and actually are allowed into the dock. The Frankie family couldn't even approach because Luffy sensed them and gave them the stink eye, but also they're like literally in like the shipwright territory, so they're gonna be beat up anyway. But upon Kaku returning, he said that the Mary couldn't be fixed. This leaves the pirates' heartbroken, hearts broken and in disbelief, with Luffy asking what the exact problem was. The keel, the bottom of your ship, as well as its entire infrastructure is crumbling apart, Kaku said. Even if we patch it up, there's a 0% chance to survive for long. You're lying! You have to be! I've done everything for that ship, Usopp yells. I'm sorry. As Usopp is swept up by emotion, he looks back to Luffy, but sees him still thinking immensely. This can't be happening, Usopp thought. As we then cut to Zoro atop, on the ship deck, and he received the news from Kaku first, so he was conflicted as well. Mary, you really can't sail anymore? We then fade to black. As night falls, the Straw Hat crew, now inside the ship, are deciding to talk about Mary, but Luffy asks where Robin is. I actually saw her there, me and Chopper, said Sanji, but she just disappeared. Like I said, suspicious, Zoro said. Luffy says, you think everything she does is suspicious? Okay, she'll be back anyway, so I decided. We're gonna change the Mary for a new ship. Wait, what? Usopp said that this isn't funny. Now seriously, Iceberg gave us like this catalog, awesome prices. But it isn't definite. We'll find some way. Can't you keep her together with some of your powers? How? My curses are for fighting, and also, I don't want to curse Mary. I'd rather just put it to rest peacefully. Usopp, however, crosses his arms and would dig into his denial, saying that he'll find a way to fix Mary on his own and not to worry. And Luffy can feel his anxiety, but says, Usopp, Mary is going to die. But I'm not going to be the reason why it does. She deserves better than that. So that's how it is? Now that she's not useful anymore, you're just going to leave her behind like some tool? No, what are you talking about? I love this ship. Everyone feels this argument getting a bit more intense and they don't know what to do to end it and just stop it. And it was just a bad idea to let it go. And Luffy's attempt at trying to calm down everything leaves Usopp raging. I was wrong about you, Luffy. Leaving behind Mary, it's just not a day for you, isn't it? A ship and people are different things, but I treasure them the same. A human life much more. This is when Usopp makes his decision and says, I keep lagging behind. Your goal to be Pirate King? I can barely hold on to even cash. There's no doubt I don't need someone like me. I only joined because you asked, and I didn't even lift a damn finger. He walks past everyone and slams the door shut, and Nami will say, oh my god, Usopp, where are you going? As they head to the deck, they see Usopp walking off and ask for him to come back. I asked you to join my crew because we were friends. I don't care about much else. You're my sharpshooter, right? No. I quit. Usopp, don't do this, Chopper exclaims as he was nearly crying, and Nami and Sanji are trying to make him rethink this, while Zoro is just stoic, trying to see how this plays out, because right now Usopp is not setting a very good example of what people on this crew should be like. I don't want to drag you down anymore, but the Mary ultimately belongs to you, Luffy. So fight me. I request a duel. The winner gets her. At this point, it truly feels as though the crew is being ripped apart, and Luffy holds on his head as he says, pack your things. We're leaving. Luffy? Sanji said. I'm not gonna fight you, Usopp. Mary's yours. You won't even let me. No! No, I won't, you idiot. You want me to kill you? Are you that eager to get cursed? He emits immense bloodlust from being so angry that he has to hide his face and just pull it all back in, saying, we'll be gone by 10. Usopp, as of now, you're no longer a Straw Hat. Falling to his knees in fear, Usopp would then think, Luffy was crying. Damn it. As it does turn 10 though, the Straw Hats walk past Usopp with their belongings without saying another word. Usopp has left the crew. Time skip. The crew finds an inn where they will now live until their ship is made, and as the day comes too, we see the boys atop the inn's rooftop, and they are horribly morbid. I thought Robin would be back by now, Sanji said. I'm sensing traces of her, but she might be hiding herself on purpose, Luffy said. Why? I don't know. Maybe I really am a bad captain, huh? With these words, a silence will then fill the air again, with them seeing Luffy has taken a clear hit. Yuta and Luffy are about, like, friends a lot, like, extremely. So combine that with Luffy's tendency to, like, get sad, even though comical, now you have a permanently sad-looking Luffy, like, for real. So, the door of the rooftop, however, is then opened with Nami running out and saying that Iceberg had been shot. Mr. Iceberg? Panic would spread that day of the news that the hero was shot and the perpetrator had yet to be caught, but the Strats go about their way with Nami and Luffy walking over to go see Iceberg. Sanji and Chopper are looking for Robin, and Zoro is just chilling on the rooftop. However, as Nami and Luffy walk the streets, they begin to be stared at, and the hate that, people are emanating is very easily felt by Luffy. It's to a ridiculous degree. And this is when they're nearby the first dock, and music begins to be heard for some reason. Like, the song legit begins to be played, and people will be saying, oh my god, no, that song, it's gotta be him. Wait, look up. Looking to a high tower, everyone sees 3 dancing people behind a tarp, which is then pulled off to show Frankie, Kiwi, and Mozu, the twins. Get out of here, you probably shot Mr. Iceberg, they'd be saying. How can you say that, Frankie said. I'm the true hero of this place. Now say it with me, Frankie is super. As he opposes with the twins following his actions, however, he then lets down his glasses, giving off a glare. And people run away because they realize that something serious might be about to happen. They might actually be killed. And this is when Frankie actually said, hey, yo, Straw Hat, I came to talk. He would then jump down and splash into some water before then coming out and, slinging back his hair, fixing it. And he says, I heard you're in some possession of money, more than 200 million. They're having a financial talk, everyone thinks, as they're left shocked, not expecting this at all. However, he and Nami begin to argue, as Nami, of course, isn't going to let him take shit. You got some nerve, Straw Hat. Hearing this voice, Luffy would then turn as would everyone to see the shipwrights, and they look downright scary, but Luffy looked just as scary, with them being fueled by the incident from last night, and he doesn't just ask when he says, I came to heal Mr. Iceberg. Yeah, right. You really show your face here? You really do this after what you did? Kaku asks. Luffy is of course confused, asking what's wrong, and in anger Paul says that if they're not going to answer, he'll make him spill the beans. Releasing his ropes, he swings them at Luffy, who puts his arm up, and they are wrapped. It is wrapped, but Paulie pulls only to slip and fall to the ground. He gets back up embarrassed, and he pulls and pulls, but Luffy doesn't budge one bit. He's like a fucking mountain. Gang up on him. What's going on here? Nami thought. Luffy meanwhile is then attacked from all sides by Lulu, Kaku, and Lucy, but he takes all their blows and doesn't even move an inch, and he was now more serious as he said, I just came to heal Mr. Iceberg. As they jump back and realize that he's incredibly strong, Paulie says that last night they must have snuck into Iceberg's room because he says that Nico Robin shot him. Instead of saying anything, however, Luffy will then run and grab Nami as he takes to the skies and starts heading to Iceberg like he intended from the beginning. This is one of those times when I gotta be pushy, Luffy thought. Quick, stop him! Someone stop him! The shipwrights panic as Kaku would then take to the skies, but upon reaching Luffy, as he swung down with a saw, Luffy would legit catch it barehanded. What the hell is this bastard made of? He thought, as he is then kicked right back to the ground. You really think Robin shot him? Nami asks. As he crashes in through Iceberg's window, Luffy would then see that he doesn't know. But we're gonna ask some questions. As they stand, Iceberg would then sit up from his bed, pointing a gun forward. I guess everyone thinks I'm free game or something. Walking forward, however, Luffy would say nothing, and Iceberg shoots at him, but he catches the bullet, leaving the man terrified as he watches him just casually drop it. But as he approaches him, the mayor is then covered by reverse cursed energy. Feeling reinvigorated, he checks his wound and finds that it is gone. Luffy would just sit down beside him, saying, I just want to talk. Did you really not send her after me? You're making her ship. Doesn't that sound like the most ridiculous thing to do? I guess I forgot about that. You forgot, the two say? Also, you have literally no other thing that I want aside from a ship, Luffy said, along with the government not being more wary of us. If I did this, they would just like attack us faster, and if I wanted to end you, it would be like super easy. I get it. You didn't make her. She actually entered my room with the masked man. His voice fits nothing of what we've heard of any of you, but it doesn't change the fact that Nico Robin did shoot me. As he says this, we then enter the halls to see Paulie leading a charge to Iceberg's room, but upon reaching the door and opening it, they find Iceberg unraveling his bandages alone. The injury's gone? Tombstone asked. Straw Hat healed me. This leaves the shipwrights confused, but Iceberg says that they weren't involved, but Robin shot him regardless. That man has no idea what he's entangled himself into. Meanwhile, Lagunica is about to begin. The winds are getting more harsh, the clouds are darkening, and everyone's evacuating to the evacuation shelter, while making sure that no one is hurt. And the Strats, because no one knows yet, are still involved with Robin in this case. People still think they're dangerous, and they're just worried. Chopper and Sanji would then take advantage of this panic to go look for Robin, but they actually see her on the sidewalk with only water being what's separating them. And Sanji said, "Oh, there you are. Everyone's been worried sick. Are you okay?" Chopper asked. "I'm quite fine, but I'm not going back with you. It's hard enough to stay as calm as possible so Luffy doesn't detect me already." "Wait, what are you talking about?" said Chopper. "You can't leave too." "Yeah, pirates are falsely accused all the time. You know you don't believe what they said, right?" "I definitely shot Mr. Iceberg," said Robin. "Nothing you heard is wrong. As we speak, I'm sure Luffy has already learned this. This actually works very well. Now I can escape with all this panic." As they beg for her to come back, however, Robin runs off as they try to catch her, but they just can't reach her. After chasing her through the water and getting on land, Sanji soon returns to land and tells Chopper to he meets back up with Chopper and tells the others, and he tells him to tell the others. I don't know why that was so confusing for me. So he finds them after some searching, and he finds them on a rooftop. They're escaping and hiding, and then he told everyone the truth. And Luffy said, "I know, Robin must have shot him." As he looks at him, meanwhile, Nami and Chopper are distraught, but Zoro stays stoic, stone-faced, asking, "Isn't it about time we settled this? Is she an enemy or a friend?" "This is just all too perfect," Luffy said. "Right after the Admiral warns us, this happens. That masked man Iceberg said Robin came in with. It's giving me bizarre vibes, but because she failed to kill him, she might go back." "Wait, do you think that someone's forcing Robin to do this?" Nami says. Luffy nods, saying that they'll believe her once again, whether she likes it or not, for interfering. As he says this, soon everyone is in the evacuation shelter for Lagunica and kept safe, while the shipwrights assembled to look for the Strats, and they're still pirates, so they don't want to give any chances, especially after how they strong, you saw how strong Luffy was. But they are bombed and attacked by 3 masked people. 2 of them headed inside, being attacked and just fending off everyone easily. And what's it called? The last person has a whip and was extremely strong and led away some shipwrights to go fight them, and they were just spreading and conquering. We then cut to Pauli inside the building as he opens up a floorboard in some room and finds a safe. The hell was that explosion? I gotta hurry and just get this thing out. He uses the combination told to him by Iceberg, and he takes out some papers just as he hears a crack and turns to see 2 masked people. So that's where he was hiding it. Hand that over. A bright flash then goes off in that moment, however, with them all looking forward to see Luffy fall from lightning as he just lands to his butt in confusion. Damn it, teleportation is kind of hard. "Oh, do you need help?" "I don't need help, Straw Hat," Polly said, with him unleashing his ropes, and he goes to attack, but moving at great speed, the skull-masked man moves forward, jamming a finger into his chest, piercing through bone and tissue, muscle tissue like nothing, making the shipwright cough up blood, and he then looks to Luffy. This time that body of yours won't last. The Oxmask would then move in, shouting and releasing a Tempest Kick, but upon hitting Luffy, the wind pressure then cracks the wall behind, but does not hurt the pirate, leaving them shocked as he then went to grab his leg, but he moved back, only to find a blade at his face. The man ducks and jumps back again, when his mask then cracks in half and breaks to show the face of a shocked Luffy. Luffy then blitzes and elbows out the door into a room with a hit to his chest. That was Luffy. Why? Polly said, as he was left completely confused and betrayed, and Luffy would then walk to Polly and heal him as he closes up his wound. The Skull Mask Man then blitzes forward as he's then told to stop by his superior. Rob Luffy walks back in, saying that Kako can take off that stupid mask, and as he does, Polly then stands asking why they would do this, and Luffy said to hand over the blueprints. "Of course you're not going to easily, are you?" said Kaku. Annoyed, Polly would then look at the blueprints, even though he was told not to because he's so pissed off, but he finds nothing. There is nothing on these pieces of paper, and he throws the papers to the floor. You did all of this for these blank pages?" As the 2 are left surprised because, these are clearly fake blueprints, they now realize that they've been tricked, but they also have no business here any longer. And as they start to walk off, Robin would then say that Luffy should stay out of this, but Luffy says, "Nah, I'm gonna get very involved. Don't get cocky because you block one attack," Kaku said, with him then moving in with a punch, and his arm becomes coated with hockey, and Luffy's left wide-eyed, but then regains composure as he grabs his attack, and his arm is also coated with hockey. What? He's then knocked to the floor by a punch to the face, crushing in his skull and denting his face with a permanent mark of Luffy's fist. "I can't believe I let you on Mary." He would then dodge a claw attack from Rob using Shingun and punches him through a wall, and this time he keeps smashing through them over and over until he lands in Iceberg's room, where the other CP9 members have revealed their faces to a shocked Iceberg, and Robin is of course present. Rob? Said Khalifa. In then walks Luffy, unsheathing his Noroi. Looks like I need to heal you again, sir. Polly would then run up, also entering the room, and Zoro and Chopper Nami would then enter via Zoro kicking down the door of the place and seeing all of this happening. And Polly honestly just cannot believe what is going on. He's been betrayed. Everyone has. And as he goes to actually attack out of anger, Luffy would then tell him to stop. I want to heal you again. Stand down. Though pissed, Polly is aware of that level that he stands on right now. He can't be relying on a pirate so much, but like, bro, you're gonna get your ass whipped. So Nami is super confused, but then he's filled in by Luffy, and she becomes much like Chopper, very pissed. Robin, are you really betraying us? Luffy asks. I can't achieve my dream if I stay with you people. And I told the cook and doctor I was leaving. Are you that stubborn? Without words, Luffy would then walk to Iceberg and heal him instantly, with Lucy then telling Blue Note to get Robin out of here. Do it now, you idiot! Okay. He opens the door and pushes her through it and closes it, using his devil fruit, right as Luffy would then move as the Zoro, and instantly they blast forward. Luffy would then slice off Blue Note's head in the blink of an eye, while Zoro's blade is then blocked and wrapped by Khalifa's whip, but she then has to dodge Chopper's horn point right as she then goes to hit him. But, as she goes to hit him with a Shingun, Luffy moves, grabs her finger, and bends it back before headbutting her to a wall. Straw Hat! As Luffy yells, he then takes his animal form, not crashing through the roof, right as he then throws a Tempest kick, and Luffy will then slash at him, but then the roof of the building is then blown off, catching the attention of the shipwrights outside, and they worried about Iceberg, of course, but then someone points out something falling. It doesn't look like rubble, until it then craters to the ground. Is that a Rob? Someone help him up. From the sky, Luffy then lets out a breath, thinking, what dream, Robin? He then heard a scream and looks down to see Zoro sheath his blade, with Khalifa falling to the floor and losing blood. He has beaten her. Feels like cutting through a mountain, but I can cut steel, Zoro said. Luffy, feeling proud and seeing that he has benefited from the training, lands asking Iceberg if he was okay, and already Chopper was getting to check up on him because he might have gotten an infection, and instead of worrying about himself, Iceberg said, please, my men. Well then now Luffy then runs out telling Zoro to stay and protect him, while Chopper comes and helps with all the healing, and Nami would of course stay, and all Iceberg could do was just sit down, not really knowing how to move forward. What does this mean for Robin's dream? Will Usopp rejoin? Will Robin? Find out in the next part of One Piece. It's been your boy Prince of What Ifs, and I hope you enjoyed. This is where I'm ending off. Peace. I'm gone.
Yeah, you better listen. I'm bringing heat. You'll be a fan when I start rapping. Way I'll have your fucking head spinning. I'm known as spit vicious. Release bombs and go tick tick. Boom, you blow me that head missing. I'm a phenomenon. Stacking cheese like it's Parmesan. 8 different flows, call me Octomom. I'm moving fast like the Autobahn, and I'm independent, so I'm not your